Hey, what's up, Mountaineer Nation? It's your boy, Bernie Mac, here to talk about basketball. How excited are we about basketball this year? Very fun thing to talk about, especially after a lot of downtime with football. But look, football, I think they've got on the right track. And, what Ross Hodge is doing right now, basketball-wise, very exciting. So we've got Campbell coming up tonight. I'm not worried about this game, obviously. I love our team. I went back on and said it the other day that I love how active our hands were. Like, if you just kind of see like how they're playing and defensively being able to kind of just like put their hands out, pop the ball out. Very, very good to see. I definitely was a little concerned about some of the foul shooting. As aggressive as we play, we cannot have foul shooting be an issue this year. So I'm really hoping that Ross Hodge is going to put a little bit of an emphasis on that. We're going to get to the line a lot. We're going to be fouled a lot. It's totally fine. But at the end of the day, we have to make foul shots. So close games, things like that, we have to be better there. But ultimately, I love this team, man. Like, I'm very excited about what this team's going to be able to do this year. I think we have a very good blend of a team, from scorers to defenders to, essentially what we need to be successful in the Big 12. And I see that. Hunter Huff, Eagle Staff, Jasper Foot, like, we have all the pieces, right? I was a little concerned the other day where we weren't getting Honor and Eagle Staff the ball as much as I felt we should have. You definitely want to be able to kind of push the ball on the perimeter and have them kind of make those shots. It felt like they were defending against it and making sure that they weren't going to beat them, which is probably expected. But at the same time, when I look at it and I think like to the future of this team this year, we're going to have to be able to get those guys in space to make shots, because if they are not flowing offensively, it's going to create a lot of problems. It's going to put pressure. But at the same time, I think that this team is going to wear teams down, man. Like, there's no way that anybody's going to be able to keep up with us, just from a rotation perspective when you look at how aggressive this team is. And I think that's going to become more evident. So, we might have like some very detailed, very good first half battles where you're going to see, it's going to be like more level. But I do feel like when we get in that second half, you're going to see the depth, the conditioning, and all the things that Coach Hodge is working on with this team defensively. That's where it's going to start to show. So I would just say, like, Mountaineer Nation, if we get in a spot, this year as we're going through it, where you start to see them kind of, I don't want to say slacking, because I don't think they're slacking, but where it's close in the first half, they're going to be much better in the second half, because they're going to be able to dial it in and really kind of turn up pressure on the defense and the other teams. So excited again. Let me see here. Got a few comments. We got first game jitters are out of the way. We should be better today. On YouTube, by the way, please follow us, Voice of Morgantown Media Network. Please follow us on YouTube if you haven't. I would agree with that, right? Like, it's going to take time for the team gel. We've got a ton of people that haven't played together, that are playing together all of a sudden. And I do think it's going to take a little bit for them to kind of like find their stride. But at the same time, I just love Coach Hodge. I'm like a huge fan of him, man. Like, he's just intense. He's coaching the right way. He's coaching the right things. Super excited to like see what this team does this year. And I think when we look at, the team we're playing tonight, let me make sure I get their name right because it is Campbell. Of course, we're going to win. We're going to beat Campbell. We're going to beat Lehigh. And then we have a big test coming up against Pitt on November 13th. I think that's like kind of our litmus test of where we are as a program and how we're doing. It's funny. I've seen a lot of stuff around Pitt and like some of the recruits they've secured and all this other nonsense that's going on. But at the end of the day, it's still Pitt. Like nobody wants to play basketball at Pitt. I'm not worried about them. They could sit here and say they're, securing all these kind of recruits, whatever it might be. But at the end of the day, I think we're still always going to hold Pitt's number on the basketball side. And I'm looking forward to playing them on the 13th. So, with that being said, Campbell tonight, I'm not worried about. I think it's going to be a pretty good game as far as litmus tests, see who continues to evolve and be the people that we expect them to be. Floyd stepping up with the performance that he had. Awesome. A little concerned by the fact that Hunter Huff and Eagles staff were as quiet as they were. I would like to see us continue to move the ball outside, stretch that perimeter a little bit, let those guys shoot, let those guys score. But at the end of the day, look, the season is going to be dictated by how our defense does, and I think our defense is going to be stellar this year, and I think we're going to be in a good spot. So, with that being said, I think the basketball season is going to be one that surprises a lot of people. I know last year we had DeVries, we had all these things going on. Now Tucker had a big going out party this week, 18 points, 11 rebounds. But we knew that's what Tucker was capable of despite the shoulder injury. He's a good player, right? Like we know that's going to happen. But this team, the team that we have, I am fully confident that they're going to do very well this season. I don't think they're going to ever settle down. They're not going to be not aggressive. They're going to come out. They're going to play as much as they can, and they're going to continue to challenge the status quo and make sure that they put themselves firmly in the mix for the Big 12. And I don't see anybody in the Big 12. I mean, Houston's going to be Houston. I think they're ranked like 2. We got, if I remember right, Kansas, I think is, of course, always in the mix, right? So they're ranked. We've got, let me see here. BYU is going to be a good team this year. Texas Tech, that's Iowa State, but I think that's really it, right? Like if we could do some good things, and if we could make sure that we execute on the offensive, defensive side of the ball, I don't think Ross Hodge is ever going to get to a point where he doesn't feel that we can't be in a game, right? And we talked about that a little bit last year, like where we didn't really feel like we're ever out of a game. I don't see that happening this year as well. I think Ross Hodge is going to continue to make sure that the team is focused. They're going to be, putting in their best effort and go from there. But either way, it's so fun to be talking about basketball after such a dismal football season. But, I love football team too. I think we're doing some good things. I've said that. I'm a huge Scotty Fox fan. I think this weekend, if we could get by Colorado and put us in that 4-win category, lights of fire to go away. You go to Arizona State, then come home, and hopefully we knock off. Like, can you guys imagine, right? Like, how fun would that be if we get to play Texas Tech, who's probably going to be a top 10 team at the time, to go beat their butt, and then we get in the bowl game? It would just be awesome. So I know Richard talked about it a little bit, but how cool would that be for us to be able to go and have that kind of like spotlight on our game that week? So either way, see what happens. But I do feel very good about this basketball team this year. I feel very confident in saying that they're going to make the tournament. But I feel more confident in like the coaches we have, right? Like we have two great coaches that are leading our two premier programs between Rich Rod, Ross Hodge. It's going to be a good year. And I think everybody has to like kind of temper expectations. Year one, it's going to be difficult. But at the end of the day, we're in a really good spot from a program perspective. And super excited to see what these guys are going to do, as we move forward and get into different components of the Mountaineer era. So that being said, cheers, Bears, Mountaineers. Let's go. We got tonight. We got Saturday. Good weekend. Let's go, Mountaineers.
Voice of Morgantown, we break it first. WVU pride, we quench your thirst. No spin, all truth, loud and proud. Mountaineer nation, say it loud. The Voice of Morgantown. VOA.